Hey everyone, this is Laura Robinson from the Chattanooga Area Food Bank. This is a mid-August 2023 garden check-in and tour. I just wanted to walk you guys around and show you kind of what's going well for us and what's not, in hopes that maybe we can share some tips back and forth and make our gardens better going forward. So I guess I'll just start walking around and kind of share kind of how things are going for us. So I planted a second round of cucumbers. The first ones I planted did not turn out very well. So I tried 3 different varieties in this bed. I have 3 plants of each variety. And kind of once I see how things are going and how productive they are, I can share that information with you. But I think it was useful after the first variety kind of puttered out, to replant, given that there's enough time in the season to get some more summer produce, which usually after my first round of summer produce putters out, I just kind of like move on and get an early start on fall crops. But I'm kind of doing things a bit different this year. I've harvested already this morning a good amount of cucumbers from these plants. And there's a ton of flowers, as you can see in here, a ton of flowers. So I think we'll have a good crop. And I kind of like the idea of having a first round, and then, you know, invariably something's going to happen. It's going to get some kind of disease or powdery mildew or whatever. And then I won't worry about pulling it out because I'll at least get one good crop out of it. So that's the cucumbers. I have red okra. It is an heirloom that one of my volunteers gave me, and that is producing well. I harvested a lot off of it already. And then I also planted another bed of okra a bit later, and this one is the Louisiana Green Velvet okra, which it's kind of just started producing in the last couple of weeks, and it doesn't seem like I'm getting quite as much off of it as I have the red okra, so we'll just see what happens there. I have a couple beds of sweet potatoes planted. I haven't had any issues this year with things coming in and eating the greens, which has happened in years past. I think that's always been a groundhog that's done that, and since we put the fence up, it's mostly kept the groundhog out. So, you know, just waiting on that until before the first frost to harvest. I started a new to me type of pepper this year. This is ají dulce pepper, and it's been fairly slow to get growing. So I'm just kind of waiting patiently on these to see what I get out of them. This is called honey nut squash. It's like a butternut squash, but half the size, and it's supposed to be sweeter. It's been pretty productive. You can see some of the squash are quite small. That one's like one of the smaller ones. It doesn't even fit my hand. There are some other ones that are a bit bigger. Show you like this one down here. That one's a bit bigger. But most of them have been probably smaller than that. But it's been fairly productive, and the plant hasn't suffered many issues, so it's something I would definitely plant again. I have a couple beds of tomatoes, which the squirrel has really loved. I have a bunch of basil that's gone to flower around it, but the tomatoes are in the middle. The squirrel has really loved, so I have not gotten a lot of like bigger tomatoes this year. I'm actually thinking about just pulling my tomatoes because I feel like I can put something in there that's more productive. I just last week planted 3 different types of mustard greens. So I'll report back to you guys after I see how they've all grown. I think from the looks of it now, they're all in pretty good shape. I have 3 different types of eggplant in this bed, and I think what I'm getting the most of are these like Chinese string eggplant, which I planted these because I know some people like a more meatier eggplant, but I've always liked just being able to like char these really well on the stovetop and then scoop out the insides. So that's why I planted those. But that's definitely been the most productive. I have a couple of different types. These are just kind of like the standard globe eggplant. Let me see, that's early, oh, this says early long purple eggplant. And then I have Black Beauty, it says in the middle. I'm trying to show you what they look like. These are more like round shaped. I don't think I've ever grown those before. So we'll see. I planted not a lot, but I planted less plants in my bed this year than I did last year. And I think that's helped. I think I overplanted last year. I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plants on the outside rows and then 4 down the middle. So a total of 14 plants in a 4x8 bed. I have pumpkins, they're called cinnamon girl pumpkins growing over here. These have also been fairly productive. I thought there was an orange one over here. I have a feeling someone has come in and harvested. So they're about this size, and I grew some at home too, and they're good. They're good pumpkins, I think. The plants seem to be pretty productive. You can see there's some, I think I've seen both squash beetles and squash bugs on these plants. I haven't done anything besides hand picking. Actually, I see one right now. Hand picking and smashing. Because I feel like I'm gonna pull these plants out sooner than later anyway to make room for fall stuff. So we'll see how that goes in the end. I might regret it and get overrun by something. I have various things planted in this bed. I have 3 different types of two types of squash and 1 gourd. And I'll show you, actually the plant is going from this bed all the way over here and growing up here. And this is a candy roaster squash, and it turns kind of like a pink color. And I just broke it off. So no, it's not gonna turn a pink color. There goes that one. I wonder if I can maybe just slice this up like a summer squash. That might be what we do. Anyways, that was the second one that grew. The first one that grew was kind of started to rot. It was laying on the ground and it started to rot on one end. So TBD on like how productive these plants are. You can see cow peas are kind of going crazy right now, or black-eyed peas. This is kind of the size that I've been harvesting them at. I did a second round of green beans as well, and they are just starting to produce. I did bush beans and a second round of pole beans. The pole beans take a lot longer to get going, so I don't know how much I'm going to get off of them before I have to pull them. I am trying a new melon. It's called Petite Grise melon, and there's a few of them. That one fell out with its little sling over there. But they are supposed to turn blush kind of yellow when they're ready. So I haven't harvested any yet. I'm just still waiting on those. I got some habaneros that are ready to harvest. I planted, this is also a new to me plant. It's called Desi squash. Look, see there are the squash beetles. And again, I'm just smashing them. Smash them while I see them. probably have to come back through here. But these matured pretty fast. I think it was like a 45 day maturing plant, so I thought that was a good like midsummer thing to try in the garden. And the squash, let's see if I can see one right here. They're kind of round in shape, and you're supposed to harvest them when they're about like a baseball or softball size. So I have some to harvest in here. I have a fig plant which seems to always get this rust on it, and it will defoliate. I still get some figs off of it, but I've read that there's not a ton you can do about it, but if anybody else has any tips, I would love to know. I have shishito peppers down here, which I've always found shishito peppers to be super productive and just vigorous. Like, they keep going and going and going. So I think I'll always plant shishito peppers. I also have some tomatillos growing here. There's one that looks pretty good. But the tomatillo plants have looked bad from the beginning. I think it maybe had some kind of spider mite on it, and I tried treating it, and it hasn't killed the plant, and it's still producing tomatillos, but it's obviously not healthy, and it's probably not nearly as productive as it would be. So that's something that I need to work on for next year, because I really love tomatillos, but I just have never been able to grow them very well. It seems like they always have some kind of issue. Again, if you have any tidbits on tomatillos, please let me know. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, I'm growing hibiscus. The ones that create the little pods that you can use for tea. I grew this at my house a handful of years ago, and I loved it. So this is my first time growing it at the food bank. And what else do I have out here? I have various types of basil in this bed here that I'm just letting go to flower. And then I have various types of peppers out here. I'm actually going to walk around and show you some of these peppers, because I don't think they're what I thought they were. I thought I was planting jalapenos, and I got these like light green peppers that grow up instead of down. And so I don't really know what those are. And then Anaheims and banana peppers, which I found these banana peppers are pretty vigorous growers, and so are these, whatever these are. There's like, the plants are just full of them. But it wasn't what I expected. Okay, so I think that's about it in terms of how things are growing. I have various things started inside for fall. So if you are looking for plants for the fall, I have everything from collards, broccoli, lettuce, more lettuce, cabbage, kale, mustard. I started a lot of this red sorrel because I'm getting a new herb bed here, so I have lots of that. I have Asian greens. I have more cabbage, Swiss chard. What is this? I have some kohlrabi, not a ton, probably not enough to share. More collards, more broccoli, more kale. So as you can see, I'm already like pretty deep into starting things for the fall. So if you need seeds, or if you know you're gonna need some plants, please just reach out and let me know. I'm happy to share when I can. And I think that's about it. So again, like, let me know if you guys have questions. Let me know what's going on in your garden. And I hope things are growing well for you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.